Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Back here with another project for today. So what I have here is a 30,001R PlayStation 2. Now this thing actually does work quite well. It's a little scratched up or whatever, but that's to be expected. But there is one issue with this that is keeping it from being fully functional. As you can see right there, the AV port for the video cables is pretty jacked up. So what we're going to do is we're going to be replacing that. So this is what we're going to use to get the AV port. I've been looking all over the internet for a replacement, but I haven't been able to find just the AV port as a spare part. So what I have here is I have a donor board. This is from a 39,000 series PlayStation, but the PlayStation that's coming from, it took a really bad hit, so the case was broken and the disk drive wasn't working. So I decided I was just going to strip that one for parts. So what we will be doing, this is the port that we're after. We are going to desolder it, desolder the old, and then swap the parts. And then it should work just fine after that. So let's get cracking. This has been GameStop recertified, so who knows what we're gonna find inside. Besides not being able to get the sticker off. There we go. It's a little dusty, but nothing we can't handle. I gotta take the memory card reader off first because this has to be 100% disassembled. Pops right out. Just toss this aside. Okay, now we have to remove the power supply here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Just pull it out. But when you move this around, just be careful. You don't want to touch any capacitors or anything, because that will hurt a lot and be very dangerous. Alright, let's continue taking things apart. So we have to remove this plastic shield and the tape. Out it comes. Okay, so next up we gotta remove this bottom shield. There's a lot of little screws here, so they all gotta be removed. Alright, let me see if I can get this heat sink off without embarrassing myself again. Well, that was so much easier. So I want to take a moment here to vent a little bit. So what we have here, what I have zoomed in on here, that is the clock battery. What that does is that keeps time in the game, inside the game console. So with your saves and all that stuff, it's a system clock. So when you have that solid orb on the main menu, that actually means that the clock battery is dead. It's not keeping time. So on a lot of other versions of the fat PS2, they actually have this battery on the disk drive, so it's a 2-second replacement. On this model, you have to go through all the disassembly to get to it. Alright, so there's a fair bit of dust on here, so I'm just going to blow it all off. Alright, so all that fun stuff we just did, now we gotta do all that with the donor board. Gotta remove all the screws and get at this AV port. So, I'm gonna go ahead and do that and I'll see you on the next part. Alright, so now we're going to desolder this AV port off the donor board. But first we gotta clean the dust off so we can get it off easier. Alright, so we're going to add solder to these joints here, help it flow a little better, but first we're going to just put a little flux on. And then some new solder. Yeah, no, it seems to kind of be a little counter, like, oh, you're adding solder to desolder. But when you mix new solder with old solder, it does help to make it flow a little better. Makes it easier to remove. At least that's what I'm hoping today. Let's try a little solder wick here. I get things on, but I always have trouble getting things off. If anybody has any tips, leave them down in the comments. Well, that didn't exactly work out. It's a lot of little solder still stuck inside the joints. So, I actually have to place an order anyway to replace the batteries on the battery on the other board. So I think I might get a new toy to help out with this project. Oh yeah, it's been 2 days now. Got my new rework station in. Got it on Amazon for like under 50 bucks. So, box is teeming with Chinese mediocrity. See if this is any good. Nozzle specification. People who may know what they're doing, don't judge me. This is new to me. Cool, popped right off. Sorry that ended up coming all off camera, but I need a little more leverage. I had to take it to the end of the table. So, alright, cool. We'll get the other one off. Alright, so now we're going to remove the broken port, but before we do have to remove the digital optical out port. Okay, let's see if this new AV port works. Working great. It's not losing connection, nothing. Perfect. Fixed. Alright, so that'll wrap it up here from this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like the video, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe so you don't miss any future videos and future repairs. And if you have any comments about this video or ideas for future videos, please comment below, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.